Well, a teacher is expected to appear in the Umbumbulu Magistrates Court after she allegedly beat a learner over the knuckles that led to 4 fingers on his right hand being amputated. Mhlengi Dlamini is now 21 years old. Dlamini's mother, Bebhekile Mchunu, previously told SABC News of how her son dropped out of school following the incident. Last year, she approached SABC News begging for justice for her son with no help from police. This has now brought in the spotlight the issue of punishment in schools. And Briede, Director of Programs at Save the Children South Africa, joins us to further unpack this. Megan, thank you so much. We appreciate your time today. So corporal punishment at schools was actually banned back in 1997, but reality is that some teachers in schools, especially in township or rural areas, still practice this as a discipline method. So one has to then wonder just how soon will the department start enforcing their policies at these very schools?
Yes, absolutely. So I think that since its inception, the law has been sporadically implemented, and it's very dependent on the district manager or on the school governing bodies on how they actually apply it. So we do need to look and try and be more vigilant.
Now, then again, Megan, I mean, there's a severe case. This is a severe case of assault resulting in the amputation of most of his fingers. And not just that, the victim had to drop out of school, meaning there was probably oversight and proper investigation and application of those very school policies we're talking about at this school at the time of the incident, which is only making headlines now, by the way, after we expose the matter. So surely the department, as well as police, should have done something more.
Absolutely, because this is a clear case of assault. So it's in contravention of our Criminal Act. It's also the behavior in contravention of our Children's Act. So it really was an incident that needed to be investigated thoroughly. And I think it just also indicates the need for awareness raising amongst parents, caregivers, students with regards to their rights and course and what they need to do in order to have these upheld.
No, I mean, this is a victim who is now an adult, Megan, as we understand. They're 21 years old. They lost their childhood and most probably had to deviate from their life plans as well as dreams due to their limiting injuries. So what basic rights would then a child have in a similar situation outside of the school taking action against the educator when such matters are actually raised? What are the rights of the parents or even guardians also in this regard?
So absolutely, that child has the right to institute a civil case against the perpetrator. They would even be able to look at civil action against the Department of Education. And you might think, what's the point? This has happened. The child, has already left school, but it's a trauma. And there's many aids and access to therapies, prosthetics, a whole range of services that could enhance the quality of life of this particular child or young adult now, and make their path easier going forward. So civil suits still remain a line of action for this particular family.
Megan, as we've seen this matter, I mean, the victim can never have the same quality of life, even if they do get some sort of compensation as a result from these court proceedings now. But this draws to focus bigger systematic as well as policy compliance issues when it comes to the rights as well as safety and protection of children in our schools.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the fact that we have some really good laws and policies in South Africa and we're not upholding them, we're not implementing them, but it also hints to a bigger systemic issue, and that is that in South Africa, we continue to look at violence as a solution to challenges, as an acceptable means to solving your problems. And we're perpetuating this continuous cycle, and we see that in the actions of a teacher. Studies have shown over and over again that corporal punishment only has a very short-term benefit. So you might stop the behavior for a very short period, but in the end, it just brings up worsened behavior, feelings of anger, resentment, and you'll end up finding people acting out even worse, children acting out violently themselves. So I think it speaks to a greater systemic challenge, and it's about how we as South Africans solve our problems and break the cycle of violence.
But now, Megan, at this stage, this person is no longer, it's a young adult. Of course, this incident happened or took place while there was still a pupil at a certain school. So what do you think at this stage the department then can do in order to remedy the situation as well as the fate and the future of the said victim in this case?
Well, I do definitely think that the department needs to continue to investigate the matter, look at what is the legal recourse against the teacher, as we're seeing right now, but also to engage the family and look at what support could they actually provide. More importantly, though, well, not more, but importantly, I would like to say that I think the Department of Education has to look at how we capacitate teachers to deal with discipline in the classroom, give them better methods, better ways of dealing with problematic or challenging students.
And in this instance, Megan, what can then community members do to report such behavior if parents are not finding any recourse, if they actually do go try and talk to maybe the principals and even the department itself?
So there's many different ways of recourse, and I think, very often the best way that I found, and it sounds simplistic, but Childline is an excellent source of linking people to the right resources. So if they had to dial the 116 number, they would be able to report any kind of violation against a child, be it within school, within the home, within the community, and they are exceptionally well equipped to then look across the sector from civil society through to government and indicate where the complaint should best land.
Thank you so much for your input this afternoon. That Childline number 116, and it's toll-free. That was Ms. Megan Briede, Director of Programs at Save the Children.